Namaste and warm greetings to you all. So today we are gonna discuss about forest fire in our social studies class. So forest fire is one of the natural disasters that happens all around the world. So let's talk. We are going to talk about what actually is forest fire. How does it cause? What are the effects that happen because of forest fire? We are going to check out some of the examples. The disastrous forest fire that has caused lots of losses nationally and internationally. We are going to talk about it. We are going to look at some of the pictures. So what actually is forest fire? So forest fire is an uncontrolled fire. It is unplanned. It can happen anytime, sometimes due to the natural processes, and sometimes it can happen due to the carelessness of human beings. And if these forest fires are not extinguished, are not able to be extinguished in a proper time, then it can also cause firestorms, so which can travel to distant places where the people are living and hamper their livelihoods. So now, what causes the forest fire? So as I have already mentioned, that it can be caused naturally or it can be caused due to human activities. So let's check out what are the natural way of causing the forest fire. So as we know, when it's a summertime, when the temperature is very high, the sun, the heat of the sun in the forest might strike upon the dry leaves, and because of that, because of the high temperature, the dry leaves can start turning into flames, and it can cause the disastrous forest fire. And then the other cause can be the lightning strikes during the thunderstorm time, when during the heavy rainfall, and when the thunder is striking at that time, it can strike upon the forest and it can cause the wildfire and can hamper lots of living creatures as well as the animal habitats, and it can also cause in the nearby villages or nearby places where the people are uh, residing. Some other causes can be like during the very high temperature, the leaves get dried, and because of those dry leaves, a little friction on those leaves can also cause the forest fire. So these are some of the natural way due to which the forest wildfire can be caused. And here are some of the causes there are some of the causes which is caused due to human activities. So according to research and everything, around 90% of forest fires are caused by humans. So over here, like how 90% of this forest fire are caused by human activities. Like for example, when some people we have the habit of smoking cigarettes. So when the butt is not extinguished properly and thrown away in the area where there might be leaves which are dried, so it might cause the fire. It might be one of the example to cause a very disastrous forest fire. Then sometimes people tend to go for the outing, picnics and stuffs. So during that time, the glass bottles that they carry along, that is thrown in the forest. So due to the reflection of sun during a very high temperature, the reflection that the rays of the sun rays can strike upon the bottles, and the reflection can go uh, into the leaves, and it can work as a magnifying glass the fire which can cause the fire in the leaves and can cause the disaster. Then also when we go for the eating, we tend to cook in the forest. We tend to do the bonfiring for our enjoyment, but we forget that we need to extinguish the fire properly so that it does not burn again and destroy the forest. So when we forget these things, then it is it happens, uh, and this disaster can cause lots of hamper in the livelihood of people, in the livelihood of the environment and the creatures living in the forest. So the effects, what, due to the very high fire for forest fire, it can cause lots of effects, just like the deformation of forest can happen, the burnings of the woods, the burning of it can cause lots of deformation in the land, and that will be effective for a long period of time, which can hamper the people's livelihood. Then it will obviously affect the living beings that reside in the forest, as well as if the fire is bulking in a very heavy way, it can cause the harm in the nearby residing areas where people do live. And then obviously the forest fire will damage the forest areas, and also it increases the pollution. The smoke that comes out of the forest fire, the chemical reactions that happen due to the fire, will cause pollution in the whole environment and can change the weather pattern as well. And it's obvious that if there's forest fire, it is obvious that the animals and the plants that is surviving in that forest will burn down and go to the might go into the extincting phase. Then also it reduces the forest cover, as we know that it takes a very long time to grow a tree. So once it is burned, it will be very hard, it will take a long time for a tree to grow. So it will reduces the forest cover as well, and it might damage the governmental areas, the protective conservative areas as well. So these are some of the effects that might happen due to the forest fire. So some of the examples. Now here's one example that in our country, Nepal. So on the date of 21st February 2019, a wildfire broke out in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. So what actually is during this time, the temperature was increasing and the leaves started to get dry, and because at this time there was a thunder strikes as well that was also going on. But actually this fire was caused due to some of the people and the wild animals. So there was the fear of tigers attacking the cattle in the Bandipur. So due to that, some of the people sparked the fire to chase away the tiger. But because of that reason, the 10,000 acres of forest in Bandipur were destroyed because of the forest fire. So it was just one of the reasons of people trying to chase away the tiger, but the forest fire were caused in that scene. So these are some of the pictures of forest fire. So here's one of the picture. So there's another example that is also from 2019, the Amazon forest fire. So one of the most destructive forest fire that was in Amazon rainforest, that year by Brazil Space Research Center INPE. So forest fires are common in Amazon disaster that time of the year due to extremely dry weather. So this is one of the natural cause of forest fire. So in Amazon, this rainforest, mostly these kind of forest fires occur time and again. So here are some pictures of the forest fire. So now, forest fire not only causes the livelihood and the destruction of the area, but it also causes people to migrate from that particular area, as it becomes very pollutant, and also it takes long time for the area to come back to its normal phase. So people, because of forest fire, the migration rate has also been increasing, and people, that is one of the reasons why people migrate from that particular area to another particular area. So why actually they migrate? So first reason is humans cannot stay in the burned down areas. Another is because of the forest fire, it impacts the environment, like the it causes the proper resources might not be available at the moment. The food, the lack of food and the lack of water resources can be one of the reasons for the migration due to forest fire. And once the shelter is burned down, obviously it will take a long time to build a shelter. So for a proper shelter also people migrate. And in the area where the forest fire occurs, that area stays polluted for a very long time. The chemical reactions, the chemical changes in the environment can cause the heavy pollution. And because to prevent one's health from pollution, people migrate. So mostly, as we have mentioned, that 90% of forest fire is occurred due to human activities. So it is our responsibility to control the forest fire as well. So some of our responsibilities are like, we should be very careful when we are doing the campfire, the bonfire, or we are going out for the picnics or any kind of program in the forest area. We should be careful enough not to leave any kind of sparks in the fire, so that this kind of disaster does not happen. Then if we have a habit of smoking cigarettes, then we need to clearly extinguish the butts of the cigarettes and then only dispose it, not leave the cigarettes burning before throwing it. And then uh, very minimal use of the petroleum products. Rather than using like petroleum products causes immediate fire. So it's better not to use petroleum products in the fire, or if we have to use it, we have to use it very carefully. So these can be some of the responsibilities all the humans should follow to prevent the forest fire. So here we have come to the end of our this lesson. So hope you got some of the knowledge on forest fire. Thank you very much.